We're diving into a set of sources today that really challenge one of the biggest assumptions in London housing.
Right.
This idea that if the city needs more homes, the only way to go is up.
Exactly. That core equation. Tall equals dense. It's driven policy for years.
Yeah.
But the source material we have today, it just flips that completely on its head with some genuinely surprising data.
And it shows the alternative isn't some radical new idea.
No, not at all. Our mission here is to look at the numbers and see how historical London design actually holds the key.
Okay, let's unpack this. So we start with what the sources call the Maida Hill paradox.
Yes.
Now, if you picture that area just west of Maida Vale, I mean, you're thinking quiet, right? Little-rise Victorian terraces, maybe some mansion blocks.
Tree-lined streets. It feels very human scale. There are certainly no, giant glass towers defining the skyline.
None.
And here's the fact that just completely reframes the whole conversation.
Go on.
According to the census data, Maida Hill has the single highest residential density in all of Britain.
Wait, really?
Higher than Nine Elms, higher than the Docklands or Croydon. These huge tower-led regeneration zones.
That feels impossible. You walk through it and it's almost sleepy.
That's the paradox. It proves, right there on the ground, that density is about clever design and land efficiency. It's not just about vertical height. And what's so fascinating is that London already perfected this. Historically, it used two main strategies.
Mid-rise.
General mid-rise, yes, and specifically the mansion block. You can think of mansion blocks as the British answer to those grand Parisian apartments.
Okay, I can picture that. Robust brick buildings, strong street frontages.
Exactly. They basically function like horizontal skyscrapers. They just maximize every inch of the footprint for a living space.
This is where it gets really interesting because the sources give us the hard numbers to compare.
Mm-hmm.
So streets in areas like Victoria and Kensington, which are just full of these mansion blocks, are achieving 200, sometimes more, dwellings per hectare.
And to put that in perspective for you, a hectare is roughly the size of a large supermarket's footprint.
Right. So 200 homes on that patch of land. Now compare that to Nine Elms.
The poster child for modern high-rise living, it clocks in at only around 88 dwellings per hectare.
Less than half.
It's a staggering difference. It means we're using all these resources for a design that delivers less than half the housing potential of a classic lower-rise one.
So that forces the question. If the data is so clear, why have developers spent the last 2 decades building towers?
It's a huge question.
London has built over 70 residential towers taller than St. Paul's since 2000. And the outcome? A tiny 6% of the homes were affordable.
And even worse, only 0.3% were social housing, so the approach has failed on density and affordability.
So why? What's the mechanism?
Well, it really comes down to cost and inefficiency. Towers are just. They're not efficient uses of land. They need these huge service cores, empty space at ground level.
And they're more expensive to build.
Significantly more, up to 40% more costly than high-quality mid-rise. And that massive upfront cost dictates the whole financial model.
Developers have to chase the luxury returns.
They have to. They just can't make the numbers work to include a good mix of genuinely affordable housing when the basic construction cost is so inflated.
But hold on, the argument is always that they're fast, right? That you can stack units quickly. If mid-rise is cheaper and denser, why do towers keep winning planning battles?
I think it's two things. First, there's that old ingrained belief that high-rise is the only way to get high density.
Even though the data says otherwise.
Even though the data says otherwise. And second, developers use height to justify the crazy land values they've paid. This is where the idea of beauty as a housing strategy becomes really powerful.
What do you mean by that?
The data shows people are far more willing to accept new housing in their area if they actually like the look of it.
So if you tell a community they're getting another glass tower, you get opposition. It slows everything down.
Exactly. But if you promise them a new Marylebone, something high quality, dense, but mid-rise, that public reaction can completely change. Beauty becomes a way to enable supply.
The missing middle.
It's the strategic missing middle. It's cheaper to build, it's denser, it's more popular, and it holds its value. The sources even pose this amazing counterfactual.
For Nine Elms.
For Nine Elms. If it had been built using this traditional mansion block strategy, it could have delivered thousands more homes at a much lower cost, which naturally creates the financial space for more affordable housing. So what does this all mean for you?
I think it boils down to 3 key things. First, and this is the big one, density does not require height. London proves it.
Right.
Second, design quality isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a crucial tool for supply because it wins public consent.
And third.
And third, that mid-rise is the commercially viable higher-density option that we've just been completely overlooking.
So maybe London doesn't have a housing shortage because of a lack of height. Maybe it has one caused by poor design choices, driven by a flawed financial model, and the solution is already standing right there on its own streets.